correct? 2 to the power h minus 2 should be greater than or equal to 50. So I'm doing subnetting for department 1 now, right? So guys, what should be the h? H should be what? 2 power 6 to the power 6 minus 2. So what valid host you will get? Okay, how many host bits you have used here? How many host bits you have? Correct. That means slash value is 26. Right. So you will get valid host 62. 62 valid host. Right. So that is fine for your department 1. Then guys, what will be the network ID? 192.168.10.0/26. Right. And next network is 192.168.62. Yes, 2 to the power 6 minus 2. 2 power 6 minus 2. Sorry, 6. It's 6. No, no, sorry, 6. Fine now. Okay. Then second network is going to be what, guys? 64/26. Okay. In this network, there are 62 users. In this network, there are, right? But I need how many users only? 30 users. So I'm going to do subnetting on this network now. I need valid host. How much? 13. So what should be the value of h, guys? 5 minus 2. So host bits are h and slash value. I'm not calculating, just I'm writing, right? Okay. So you have how many valid host here? Valid host equals 30. Correct? And your first network is going to be 192.168.10.64/29. Second network, second network. Why 32? This is 32 is what? Valid host in one network. I'm asking you second network. Block size. What will be the block size here? 30 or 30? Not 64, 32. You can calculate it now, brother. You can convert it slash 19 into submit mask. Yes, 32, right? So you are going to subtract 32 means yes. So next network is clear to all slash 29. How many users are there in this network? 30, right? So this is perfect for department 2. This is perfect for department 1, right? Now in this network, how many users are there? 30, but I need only 12, right? So now I am going to perform submitting on this network. Clear? So again, guys, valid host. How many valid host is required? 12. So what should be the value of h? 4 minus 2, right? Minus 2. And how many host bits are there now? 4. 4 slash value. Slash value. There is something wrong. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm also getting some. Sandeep. Correct, correct, correct. So if you are not speaking and you are on mute, brother, then please check your background. If there is some noise, then please unmute yourself after speaking, right? If you have question, then you can unmute, right? And after that, again, you should mute it. Don't keep, it on mute for time for the entire class. And actually, there's noise as well from I think Sandeep and someone else. हाँ संदीप संदीप के साइड से ही आ रहा है नॉइस ठीक है संदीप ओके सो जब हमें 62 वैलिड होस्ट चाहिए हमने 6 होस्ट बिट रखा स्लैश वैल्यू 26 मिल गया वी हैव गॉट स्लैश 26 we have divided the large network into two part in each part total number of users are 62 right but in second department I need only 30 users so I have again perform subnetting on this network then I have got this network see if something is wrong here 2 to the power 5 minus 2 is 32 okay correct then this network here we need valid host 12 so h should be what slash 28 how brother 2 to the power what about this one is it right 2 power 5 5 host so this is host bits no brother why you are adding it here yes so tell me the network bit if 5 are host then how many network are there 27 right and here 28 correct so my first network is guys valid host is valid host 14 first network 192.168.10.96 slash 28 then what will be second network again you need to find what block size huh block size will be what is subnet mask for slash 28 240 so block size is 16 so you can add 16 in 96 Second network 192.168.10.96 plus 16. But no. 96 plus 16 16 ब्लॉक साइज 16 है ना, right? Second network, guys. So in this network you have 12 valid host, sorry, it's 12 or 14, 14 14 valid host. Here also you have 14 valid host, but in second network, guys, you need only 3 IP address. So you can find the CIDR value. What will be the CIDR value for department 3? So this network you will assign in department 1. This network you will assign in department 2. This network you will deploy in department 3, and for department 4 in the same way you can calculate. Again, see, valid host formula is 2 to the power h minus 2. So this formula should be greater than or equal to 3. Then what should be the value of h? 2 to the power 1? No. 2 to the power 2? No. 2 to the power 3? Yes. So 8 minus 2 means 6. So 4 minus 3, 1. Okay. 3. 3. Then host bits will be what, guys? 6. Again, you are saying 6. Why 5? Tell me the logic now first. Why you are guessing? 2 to the power 3. Host is 3. Network CIDR value. Right. Now you can find the network ID 192.168.10.112 slash 29 is the network for department 3. Correct? So no last. You need only 4 subnet. Na? You have only 4 department. Leave it. Last one. Okay, so this is, guys, VLSM, variable length subnet masking. Again, you need to solve 2 to 3 questions of VLSM as well. Got it?
So this is VLSM, huh?
Right, this is VLSM.
But in this condition,
Length, see na, length of network is variable. In this network, how many users are there, guys? See, I have this network.
in this situation, every time subnet mask was changing, is changing.
Why changing?
So,
No, you are going to define these IP addresses na, to the users. So you will define the subnet mask as well. Na? Subnet mask will not change. Na? Now these are different subnet, right? It will not overlap.
sir, can you write here floor wise IP sorry, network address, subnet mask, and valid IP?
10 dot next network 112 slash 29.
Yes,
Right. So here you have in first network you have valid host. How many, guys? Valid host 62.
62,
Right. In second network
30,
30. In third network
14,
and in fourth network
valid host 6,
6.
yes.
Anything else? First IP address of first network 10.1. First IP address of second network 65. Third network 97. Right, like this you can find the broadcast address, everything.
10.0, yes.
If you have CIDR value, no brother, you can find the valid host, you can find the network bits, you can find the host bits, you can find the block size, right?
this condition, the subnet mask will change, I think.
No, subnet mask for these network users will be what, slash 26. What will be the subnet mask here? 255.255.255.192.
192.
255
Yes.
for the users of this network, 255.255.255.224.
224.
224.
Yes.
So
Subnet
see,
must change once.
तो सब नेटवर्क अलग ही रहेगा ना सबमिट मार्क्स.
Yes, yes.
अगर सम का 255.255.0 कर दिए तब तो ओवरलैप ही कर जाएगा, फिर तो सारे
Yes.
एक ही नेटवर्क में आ जाएगा.
Yes.
ओके, क्लियर गाइज?
Okay.
कैन आई मूव?
It means this is not in all IP are not one single network. All are different different network in different different
Right.
servers.
And sometime, interviewer can ask you a question like this. They will write down this IP address 192.168.10.112 slash 29. It will ask you, is it a valid IP address? Most of the people are saying yes. But yeah, where? Here, how many bits you have borrowed? Two? So 128 plus 64, 192. Here, how many bits you have borrowed? Three. So 128 plus 64 plus 32, 224. Here, how many bits you have borrowed? Four. So 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16, 16 as well, nah? And here, you have borrowed 5 bit. Clear? Clear? Okay. Can I move guys out now to another topic? So submitting is finished. Let me start now. First, let me cover the broadcast domain and collision domain over here because these topics are left. Now I will go fast. So okay,
Sir, we can use VLSM anywhere
right? We are
as
using
per
it
our
now. Yeah,
as per our requirement.
correct.
This in today's era, every organization using VLSM only, I think.
Yes, yes, exactly. Correct. You are right. Let's say I have this. Let me design one network over here, guys, in front of you. I think example is important with each topic. Let's say I'm running on company of content writing. Fine. And I have two department. One is in, let's say, Mumbai, and one branch is in, let's say, Delhi. Right. In the Mumbai branch, there are, let's say, 120 users, and in Delhi branch, there are around 50 users only. Fine. And both branches are connected together through ISP. Correct.
Okay.
Now tell me, for my network, I should use two different network from class C, or I should use only one network from class C. Like I can use 192.168.10.0 slash 24 for this side, and for this side I can use 192.168.20.0 slash 24. That is also fine, right? But I am wasting some IP addresses, right, in this network also and in this network also. If your network is organized, like you have already knowledge about the network size, what subnet you are using there, you are using only this main network and you have divided into two part, right? Big part you are using in Mumbai branch and a small part you are using in Delhi branch, right? These things will help you to troubleshoot the network, right? So we will not use network like this. We are going to not pick two different network from class C. We will take only one network from class C and then we will perform VLSM. I will divide. First I will do a VLSM for this branch because here I have more users. Then I will do submitting for this branch. That is what VLSM. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Now we come here. Yeah, collision domain. Guys, domain means what? Domain means area. Domain means area, yes or no? Physical area is known as by domain. Okay, so if I am saying collision domain, and what is the meaning of collision? Means colliding something. Let's say there is one road, right? And the capacity of this road is only one car can pass this bridge at a time. Let's say this is one bridge, right? Only one car can either pass from this road, means one car can go from this side to this side, or a car can come from this side to this side. If one car will enter from this side and one car will enter from this side in the bridge, then in between, guys, what will happen? Collision, right? Both are going to collide with each other, correct? So that is collision. Collision means colliding something. And collision domain means what then? The area where collision can be occur, that domain is known as what? Collision domain. What I'm saying, collision means colliding something, domain means area. So collision domain means the area where collision can be.
area,
Yeah,
same area.
correct. And guys, broadcast means what? One to all. And again, domain means what? Area. So the domain where if a sender device is sending traffic, all devices are receiving it, right? That domain is known as a broadcast domain. So one to all in a area is known as what? Broadcast domain. So you can read about the collision domain. A collision domain is a domain where collision can be occur. A collision occur when two devices send a packet at the same time on the shared network segment. Like, guys, remember hub. Hub works on what? Hub duplex. Hub works on hub duplex. Yes, because hub don't have memory, right? So if I am going to connect two devices or few laptops or few computers with hub, then what will happen if two devices is going to send the data? Let's say this is computer A, computer B, computer C, computer D. If computer A and B are communicating with each other, can computer C and D communicate at the same time, guys?
Mm,
Okay, tell me, if at the same time computer A as well as computer B both will transmit the data, then what will happen? Collision,
collision will
right? Because here both cable are directly connected with each other. So generally what we are saying, all ports of hub belongs to single collision domain, because there is only one collision. Collision means what? The way of communication. How many way we have to perform the communication, right? How many way I have to perform the communication? If this device have two collision domain, that means, guys, what? This device
collision affected cannot
can make communication possible in two way.
not
In two way, if two collision domain, that means there are two possible way, you can say, for the communication, right? One collision domain means there is only one way of communication, right? So if at a time only one user can communicate, two collision domain, three collision domain, four collision domain, like four collision domain means that device have four way. So if a router have two ports, that means this router have two collision domain, right? If a switch have 24 ports, that means it have 24 collision domain. But this is not applicable for hub. This is the reason, guys, why we are not using it, right? This is a dummy device. Because all ports of hub belongs to single collision domain. That means there is only one way of communication, correct?
this means hub multi collision or single collision domain.
All ports of hub belongs to single collision domain. Single collision domain. Switch have per port collision domain. Router also have per port collision domain.
Multiple collision domain,
Right.
that is single collision.
Correct.
Why we can see the single collision domain? There is a hub
Because
also
hub
have
don't have
memory.
memory now. Here we don't have memory, so we cannot maintain a table over here,
Okay,
right? So that's why these all ports belongs to single collision domain, guys. That means only one guys can transmit the data at a time. So
If one time collision happen, then it can't forward the data to other.
right, see, two devices cannot communicate at a time, and if two devices will transmit data at the same time, then collision will occur 100%. So that's why for the half duplex communication we have a protocol. That protocol is called CSMA CD. CSMA CD for hub duplex communication only, right? The scenario like hub. So if we are connecting, multiple computers through hub together, that means one protocol is running there. That protocol is known as CSMA CD protocol. This protocol is not required for switch, for router. Why? Because these devices have per port collision domain. Every port have a separate collision domain, right? So on this interface, if it is receiving a data, no problem. It can receive on any other interface as well, right? And guys, CSMA CD protocol stands for Carrier Sense Multiple Access Collision Detection. So this protocol is going to sense the collision, right? Let's say PCE and PCB both have sent the data at a time. What will happen? Collision will occur on the hub, right? Now CSMA CD protocol is going to inform to all other computers that brother, there is jam. It is going to send jam signal, right? JM, jam signal to all other computer that there is collision. Please stop transmission. What I am saying? There is collision. Please stop transmission, right? Transmitting the data, and then these devices will came to know that there is some collision, right? And guys, this protocol is working on computers as well, right? So before sending the data on the link, computer is also going to sense the collision, that there is collision or not. If there is collision, then this device is not going to forward the data. If there is, this link is free, then only this device is going to send the data. So your device and device have also capability to sense the link. Whenever you are connecting your computer, to other device, your computer will start sensing that link. It will start sending a signal. I don't know much about that signal, but this is true. Whenever you will connect a device to other networking device, it will start sending a signal just to sense the link, there is collision or not. Doesn't matter on which duplex it is working. In case of full duplex also, in case of half duplex also, in case of simplex also. But guys, for half duplex communication, we have this protocol, CSMA CD protocol. Through this, what we can do, we can detect the collision, and then we can inform to all other computers. Okay, so if someone will ask you like what is collision domain, so always keep in mind guys, domain where collision can be occur, right? Hub is having one collision domain, means one guys can send and all other can receive only. I'm talking about this protocol, CSMA CD protocol. Switch and router have per port collision domain. Fine, clear na?
Okay, it means multiple collision domain, single collision.
Yeah, actually these are two topics left in basic module, so that's why I'm covering here after the subnetting. So don't try to correlate it. If it is okay, just understand only what is collision domain and broadcast domain. Now guys, broadcast means one to all, and domain means area. An area in which a broadcast message can be travel is known as broadcast domain. See, this point is very important, and you need to remember it. You need to remember it, right? All ports of switches and hub are in one broadcast domain. Switch as well as hub, all ports are in one broadcast domain, and router have per port broadcast domain, right? So this is the reason guys why router is not able to forward broadcast message. Means this network is in different broadcast domain and this network is in different broadcast domain. Yes or no? So router cannot forward any broadcast message of this domain to this domain. So router can't pass broadcast message from one network to another.
Switch is also not processing
See, hub
per port, per port collision domain switch.
per port collision domain, right? But all ports are in single broadcast domain. Tell me, here on the hub there are 24 ports. Here we have, let's say, 48 ports, and here we have how many ports? 4 ports.
4 port.
Yes. How many broadcast domain are there? Single. How many collision domains are there? One. Yeah, all ports of hub belongs to single collision domain as well as single broadcast domain.
Single.
Switch. How many broadcast domain are there?
Multi.
One. All ports of switch belongs to single broadcast domain. How many collision domain are there? 48. All port, each ports have a separate collision domain, right? Switch have per port collision domain. How many broadcast domain? 4. Router have per port broadcast domain. And how many collision domain? 4. Per port collision domain. Clear now? Now guys, I think I have one question here. Let me check. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me find a question on Google. Broadcast domain, and in CCNA also you will get one question from this topic. You will get this type of diagram and you need to find the broadcast domain and collision domain. Okay, in this diagram guys, how many broadcast domain and how many collision domain? Very good. What's your name, brother?
Hub and switch.
Great, good job. Yes, two question only. See, switch have single broadcast domain, right? Means all ports are in single broadcast domain. This switch have also single broadcast domain. Means these,
Yes.
means all devices are in single broadcast domain, correct guys?
Yes.
Right? So there is only one broadcast domain. And how many collision domain are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? If you are thinking this port, so this port is a part of same collision domain. Hub have single collision domain. All ports of hub belongs to single collision domain, right? This port is member of same collision domain, same collision domain, same collision domain, same collision domain. Now in this diagram, this is switch and this one is hub. Single broadcast domain and single collision domain. Single broadcast domain and single collision domain. Single broadcast domain and single collision domain. Single broadcast domain and single collision domain here. These all are right, because these devices are connected through hub and all ports of hub belongs to single collision domain, right? And all ports of hub belongs to single broadcast domain also, right? So guys, this is what collision domain. Clear? And how many broadcast domain are there? Or this one also? Collision domain. Broadcast domain. One broadcast domain?
Yes.
No. One broadcast domain. Another broadcast domain. All ports of hub belongs to, sorry, switch belongs to single broadcast domain, and all ports of hub belongs to also single broadcast domain, right? That means these all belongs to single broadcast domain, right? So there are two broadcast domain and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 collision domain, right? Clear guys? Broadcast domain, collision domain. Just a minute. Is it clear guys?
One question, if the ping is breaking, I mean,
Okay.
it's not continuously happening in a network,
Okay.
then how can we, I mean, what is the procedure to find out?
What is the procedure to troubleshoot it?
Uh,
So brother, without routing, without switching, how I can tell you this?
okay,
First learn routing and switching, na?
okay,
Okay. Now guys, any question in this broadcast domain and collision domain? I have one question on it, but I am not able to find it. Broadcast. Okay, you can check, there are many topics, right? And I will send you a few questions guys in the group as well. Don't worry. Then next topic is IP addressing done. Router is done. Here also you can read, right? A router has per port. This is port, not post. Broadcast domain and per port, collision domain. Then memory of router. So guys, first memory is RAM. Whatever configuration you are doing on router, right? Let's say you are configuring host name, changing host name. So that configuration is saving in RAM only. In RAM only. What is the problem with RAM, guys? RAM is volatile. Volatile. So you can read about the RAM. If you don't know, RAM stands for random access memory. It is volatile in nature. Means if power will goes down, then content will lost. Yes, it is. So let me show you this. Like, let's say here I have one router. So guys, I'm going to configure something on the router. It is booting. Say no enable config t host name. Let's say I've sent host set host name pm net. Done. Command to check run RAM is show running configuration. So in the running configuration, you can see my configuration is there, right? Host name pmnet, correct?
Yes.
But if power of my device will goes down, let me turn off this device. See, there is one button to turn off and turn on. So let me turn off it and then let me turn it on again. Again my device is booting. After the
Yes.
after the booting, if you will check your configuration, brother, you will lost the configuration, right? You will not get host name configuration there. enable show running configuration. You can see host name is what by default router. So why my content or my configuration has erased? Because of memory. By default router is saving configuration in RAM, and RAM is volatile in nature. So when power goes off from the device, the content of RAM will lost. In RAM we can read as well as write the content, right? And same thing I am doing, right? If I am running command show running configuration, means show me the running configuration. So this is what read. And if I am changing the host name, this is what, right? Host name R1, right? So in the RAM you can read as well as write, means you can configure it as well and you can verify it as well. Then guys, second type of memory is ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. You can only read it. And this memory is non-volatile in nature,
Non-volatile.
right? So like on the router there is ROM as well, right? There is RAM as well as ROM. So by default router is storing configuration in RAM. What if I will tell to router please make a copy in ROM also, right? And ROM is guys non-volatile memory. So if power will goes down, right, still my configuration will be there, right? Okay, so second memory on the router is ROM, which is used to save the configuration, right? Like you can see here again I am going to set host name pm host name pm net, right? And then I'm going to say copy running configuration to a startup configuration. Startup configuration means save configuration. I am talking about the room, and running configuration means the running configuration. I am talking about the RAM.
RAM. Right.
Okay, so you have to run this command every time. So let me copy it. So you can see the log message building configuration. My configuration is now in startup configuration, right, in the room. So startup configuration, you can see here hostname is pm. And now I am going to again turn off the router and then I will turn on. You will see the host name, same host name. Why? Because this time my configuration is in room. Fine.
Yes.
Fine. See. So run. And it have copied it in RAM also, right? So whenever your device will boot up, first it will copy all the content from ROM to RAM, right? It is going to check is there anything in ROM. If yes, then it will copy it. If there is nothing, then it will leave it. RAM will leave it, right? So this time there is configuration in ROM. And guys, for real time this is also not sufficient, because in real time you will have lots of configuration on a router, right? Let's say you have saved the configuration, right? You have copied running configuration in a startup configuration. Let's suppose if your router will hang and if you lost the configuration, then guys you have to do all the configuration again, right? You have to check lots of documentation, policies, what policies are there, IP addresses, everything, protocols. So in real time you are going to take a backup of this configuration on a different server. So let's say you have one server over here, right? Let's say this is FTP server, again file transfer server. So I'm going to save my configuration to TFTP server. Now guys, let me open the TFTP server and let me configure one IP here. That is, let's say 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. Let me check the services FTP. Where it is FTP? By default it is on. Is there any file? For now there is no any file, right? Let me exit it. Let me connect my router to the FTP server, and let me configure one IP on my router. Config T, interface F0/0, say no such, and IP address 10.1.1.2 Now if you want to save your configuration to server, requirement is there should be IP reachability. So ping 10.1.1.1. Am I able to ping FTP server? Yes, right? So I can simply say copy running configuration to
Startup configuration.
FTP.
So, okay.
This time not a startup configuration. This time I am saying what? Save it to FTP server, right? Hit enter. What is asking? Address of the host. Means it is asking about the address of server. What is the IP address of server, guys? 10.1.1.1. It is asking you what should be the file name. Default file name is pmnet/config. Okay, for me this is fine. Let me hit enter. Now you can see FTP username and password is not set.
Set.
So on the FTP server, let me set one username and password also. FTP, and let me create one user. Here user is let's say what, Payal. Password is also Payal. Edit. Or please select the list one permission.
It
Let's
is
say
one
read.
permission need to check. Yes, retype.
Fine. I've added it. Now let me run same command again. Address 10.1.1.1. Host destination file name. Okay, leave it for same. Still it's saying what? FTP.
Username and password is not set. We
No,
haven't set the password on FTP.
no. Okay, but here we can configure the FTP service on router, and then we can set the password there. But it is not asking about that. Leave it. I'm going to use this server as TFTP server. TFTP is also fine, right? It's also work like FTP only. And let me check TFTP service is enabled or not. TFTP enabled, right?
Yes.
So say TFTP address of server 10.1.1.1. File name is going to be same. Copied, right?
Yeah.
Your size of your configuration 614 bytes. So now on the server you can refresh it and you can check. Yes, see there is one file, right? So in real time you will take backup of your configuration. Let's say in your network there are 100 routers, so you will have backup of all router configuration on a particular server. Fine, guys. But you have option to save the configuration in ROM also. Clear? Next, NVRAM. Oh, sorry,
We
brother.
can save the
ROM
configuration.
ROM is not that memory. ROM is not used to save the configuration. The purpose of ROM is different. The purpose,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
right? For that we have NVRAM to save the configuration. ROM is going to store the mini iOS, right? The main flash file. If let's say your iOS file will corrupt in the flash memory, then there should be one backup, right? Backup of iOS, that is called mini iOS. So we are going to use ROM to store that mini iOS, not to save the configuration, right? To save the configuration we have what? NVRAM. In NVRAM we are going to save the configuration, right? So NVRAM is also RAM, but it is what? Non-volatile. Non-volatile RAM, non-volatile random access memory. So NVRAM is also one kind of RAM, but it is non-volatile. That's it. Okay. Purpose is cleared to save the configuration. Okay. And ROM is used to store mini IS. Then guys, we have last memory, that is flash memory. Flash memory is used to store main iOS operating system, you can say. Like on router, on your router, if you will check flash, if you will check your flash memory, so flash, so you can see this is your IS, this is your operating system. Okay, if someone will ask you we represent operating system in which format, guys, so see here dot bin. Okay, so flash memory is responsible to store main operating system. And if sometime if flash will crash, then we have one backup, that is ROM. In ROM we are going to store mini IS, mini operating system. And then we have what, NVRAM to save the configuration, and then we have what, RAM, right? So whatever configuration we will configure on the router, that will store in RAM by default. Okay, if you want to save it in NVRAM, simply you can run this command, copy running configuration to a startup configuration, or you have one shortcut command, that is right, simply you can run this command. Both command will do same task. Fine.
Okay.
If you want to save your configuration to a different server, you can run command, so means copy running configuration. Or let's say if you have configuration in NVRAM in the startup and you want to take a backup of that configuration only, not running configuration, so you can here say what, copy startup configuration, copy a startup configuration to let's say TFTP, right? Then TFTP server IP address, file name, done, right? And guys, if I want to copy data from NVRAM, means save data in RAM, then what command I will run, copy startup configuration to running configuration. Now if you are thinking that, Praful, I never need to run this command because router is automatically going to take configuration from NVRAM to RAM. But brother, you know, this is because of configuration revision number, right? Configuration register number. So by default configuration register number, which is right running on the router, because of that only your router is copying running which is, sorry, a startup configuration into running configuration. What I am saying, there is something called configuration register value. That value is going to identify the booting behavior of your router. Booting behavior of router means whenever you will turn on the power, what should router need to do? It should copy NVRAM data into RAM or not, to RAM. So by default it is doing, right? So because of configuration register number, if you will change the configuration revision number, maybe while booting router is not going to check NVRAM, it will directly boot up from the RAM only, right? So this scenario is required when, let's say, you have configured the password on router, right? And you have saved the password in NVRAM. Now in this scenario, you need to break the password. You forget the password. So what do you need? You need to change the booting behavior of this router. First, you have to change it. You have to tell to router, brother, I'm going to turn you off and I'm going to turn you on again. But please this time don't copy NVRAM data into RAM, right? So if it will not copy the NVRAM data in RAM, that means it is not going to ask you for password, right? Because where is password? Password is in NVRAM only. RAM data, whenever power will goes down, RAM data will lost, right?
So in this condition, if we run this command, copy startup to running, in this situation, if we reboot the router, then
Okay, you have reboot the router and then you have run command what, copy a startup to running.
then
Then again it will ask you for password.
on configuration will be lost, I think.
No, why configuration below? Configuration is still there in NVRAM, right? I have changed the booting behavior on the router. I have told to router don't copy running configuration data in startup configuration. Done. Now I have booted up. It have booted through RAM data only. In RAM, guys, there is only default configuration, correct? Now I can run command show startup configuration. I can check the password. I can check the password and then I can copy running configuration into, sorry, NVRAM configuration into running configuration, right? After that, if I want, I can remove the password, I can change the password, right? I have option to see the password first in the NVRAM, right? Because you will have access through RAM data only. And RAM, there is no password. In RAM, there is no password. Earlier, there was password, but once you will reboot the device, right, all content of RAM will lost. Getting my point?
Can you see it? It is little bit confusing.
I
Again,
will do one practical on it, okay? Don't worry.
oh,
I will do one practical on it. And by the way, configuration. Okay, so memory is clear. Tell me this. Memory is clear, right? Now here you can read more about the contents. Like in RAM, RAM is going to store what? Routing table, ARP table, running configuration, and interface buffer memory. Whatever configuration you are going to perform on router, yes.
One second. This command we apply that copy startup config to running configuration. Then what happen after this? After run this command?
It will check the NVRAM. If there is something, it is going to copy it in RAM. If we are running any command like copy running configuration to TFTP, let's say. So what my device will do first? First of all, it is going to check RAM. If there is something in RAM, it is going to send to TFTP server. If you are typing copy running configuration to a startup, a startup configuration to running configuration, it is going to check NVRAM data. If there is something, it will copy in RAM.
Sir, but what we are looking in router, everything we are looking from RAM only. No?
Right, whatever configuration you will perform, right, that will be stored in RAM only. So after the configuration, you should save it.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
By startup configuration, copy startup configuration, I can directly copy from NVRAM to TP.
NVRAM and a startup is same, na brother. To access NVRAM, we are saying what? A startup configuration. This is just a name of NVRAM. Like to access RAM, we are running what command? So run. So running configuration. In the same way, to check NVRAM data, we are running so startup configuration.
Run means in a RAM,
Yes,
startup means NVRAM.
NVRAM. Saved configuration.
Okay.
So content, RAM is going to carry routing table, ARP table, running configuration, interface configuration, right, policies, everything. Then ROM is going to carry mini IS. It is going to carry post information, bootstrap program, etc. Right? But the main thing is mini IS. And guys, NVRAM, startup config file, right? Configuration revision value, configuration revision value also, right? Don't worry, we are going to discuss configuration revision value now.
Revision or register, sir?
Register value.
Register value, register, sorry, I'm saying revision.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, sorry.
And
And
what is
flash,
the tar file? What is the tar file? We have seen the .bin file. And somewhere I saw the tar file we need to upload in switch or
okay,
router.
okay,
What is about that?
put it in the group. There are many other operating system as well, guys. Now we have seen what, how Cisco iOS looks like. That's it. XR is there also, right? There are many more operating system. So representation of is going to be different, right? We are learning Cisco IS only. Don't worry about the dot TDX, dot AEX like that. Leave it, leave everything. Focus on dot bin only. Flash memory, IS image of router or switch. Fine. So these are the content of memory. Then guys, booting process. So when the device will power on, post process will run. Post means power on self test. First of all, it is going to check their hardware, like ports are working fine or not. If there is any issue with hardware, then definitely it is not going to work. Then maybe your software will not work fine. So when you will turn on the power, first of all, devices checks their post. self test. This is for self testing, right? Like when you will wake up in the morning, first of all you will check your hand, everything is working fine or not, like okay. So in post process device will
This is common in all computer devices, right?
right, right.
Post.
Yeah, for all device, for your desktop also, for your laptop also, for your mobile also, for any devices, for any networking devices you can say.
Yeah.
So I'm taking everything from zero, brother. Like you are completely new to learn router. Let's understand from the router post process what will happen when we will turn on the power first time. Okay. So here device is going to check their hardware components are working or not. Then bootstrap will run and it will try to load IS image in RAM. So see guys, on the router there are RAM, there is ROM, there is NVRAM
NVRAM, NVRAM.
and flash. So when your device will come up, first of all your device will look up for flash memory to store what? IS, operating system, right? So when you are turning on your, let's say, PC, sometimes you are getting a green screen, right, for few seconds. That is what? That is bootstrap. Bootstrap is just a program, right? Program means what? Set of information.
Yes.
So this is just a set of information code in your computer, and that code is going to load the operating system from flash to RAM. Because to boot up the devices need operating system in the RAM, guys. At the time of working, when let's say devices are working, like right now my laptop is on, right? I'm teaching you. So everything is in RAM, right? After the booting, it is not going to check the flash memory. It is not going to check any memory. So first of all, bootstrap will try to load the main IS image from here. It is going to put it into RAM. It is a small code. You can read about it, but I am not interested. Then guys, configuration register value is used to load IS. See, this is something who is going to tell to router about the booting behavior. First it have loaded the IS, right? That is important, very important. First need to upload the IS image from the flash to RAM. That is done. Second thing, now should I check NVRAM data or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Or there can be other option as well, right? There are many more options here. For that, how you want to boot your router? You have what? Register configuration register value, and by default configuration register value is 0x2102. And booting behavior of this configuration register value is what? So let's say this is your router. Let's say this is your router, and here is what? Flash, then ROM, then NVRAM, then RAM. I'm talking about the putting behavior of this configuration register value. First of all, it will store IS from the flash. Then it is going to check NVRAM. Is there any in content in NVRAM? If yes, then it will copy it into
RAM.
RAM, and then it will boot up. Then you will get access in user mode. After that, you can perform the configuration, right? So the IS image will check from the flash. If IS is found, then it will load it in RAM. If IS is not found, then it is going to check what?
Image will check from TFTP server if TFTP connected.
Yes, if TFTP server is there, right? But there is one more, one point is missing in this definition. First, it is going to check what? ROM. because in Roam mini IS is there, right? So if router is able to boot up with mini IS, then it will boot up, right? Then it is going to check what? TFTP server. Fine. So this is booting behavior of this configuration register value. Now let's understand few more configuration register values as you told me to
Sir,
perform on lab on it.
in every router model have this register value
Yeah. Yes, yes.
in every network
In every operating system.
in every router
Right, in every router.
and switch
Yeah, switch have also, right? Switch also.
also this.
And what is the configuration register value of this device?
Okay, sir. Yes, yes.
This is by default, right? You know, host name is what? PMNet. And this configuration is saved, I think, in a startup configuration, correct?
Yes.
But if I will delete the startup configuration, delete startup, delete startup option is not there,
Uh,
erase,
right erase.
erase startup configuration, right? Now show startup configuration. In a startup there is nothing. Now if I will reboot the device, if I will turn off it and then again turn on it, then what will happen? My host name is going to be what? Same or different? The default.
Different default.
Default, right?
But sir, once we have erased the configuration, then
Booting.
there is looking net PM net.
No, see, it's booting. First of all, it is going to store IS from the flash. Then it is going to check what NVRAM. But in NVRAM, there is nothing.
We have to reboot that device after erase the configuration.
Default. Yeah. Means if your configuration is not in the startup, and if your device will reboot, right, configuration will be lost. These are modes of router: user mode, privilege mode, global config mode. You already know. Basic commands. Okay. Then configuration register value. So what is configuration register? It is 16 bits value represented in
Hexadecimal.
store in
In VRAM.
by default configuration register value.
0x2102.
It tells the
Booting behavior of the router.
or switch. How many types of configuration register value you have?
3. Or else
These three are for you.
How
Fine.
many?
These three: 0x2102, 0x2100, 0x2142.
So this is applicable for switch and the router.
Yes, correct. Okay,
So this procedure of booting and everything is applies to router and switch.
correct. If you have one switch also,
Also keep
enable show version. Fine.
0xF.
Yeah, hexadecimal representation.
But there is not 0x2102. 02 or
Which switch it is? So version.
2950.
Okay. I have to check it on real devices, brother. On 4 switches, right?
Yes.
Leave it. This is simulation. Okay. Leave it for now. On the router, try to understand this configuration revision number for now. These three. Okay. For CCR 2000301, it is important.
Yes.
Fine. Now, to change the configuration revision number,
Means we can save on any of the register this value.
yeah, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, and we can ask router to boot from that register.
Correct. If
So
you
we
will
can
set
have
the
two different
configuration
type of
register number, and then when you will boot up the device, automatically it will load with new one.
means we can have three different type of configuration on three registers.
Yeah, if you want to change the booting behavior, like if you want to
Yeah,
tell to router don't check NVRAM data, then definitely you have to change the booting configuration register number. It is asking what? The number value, which value you want to use. So I can change, right?
then it will boot from that configuration.
Correct. After running the command, you have to only reload the router, right? You have to run one more command here, that is reload, to take it in action. When you will
So just
configure
type
it,
that TX,
sorry,
just type that TX in the configure register number in your file system. You have to
okay,
type that value what you said.
which one? Default one is there.
Zero,
This one,
okay, zero dash. So you have to type like this, right?
right? Here I have to type like this. So version. See what it's saying. Read this line.
Okay. Will change in 0x211 in next reload.
Got it?
So
Yeah, tell me, brother. No problem at all.
so password is saved also on three different
Sir,
register with three different password can be saved, right?
No, password will always saved in RAM or NVRAM only.
Mm. Okay.
sir, we have changed the
These are not memory, na. This is not memory. This is just a program who is going to change the booting behavior.
sir.
Only booting behavior. Yeah, but booting behavior will change, but there is no and the code is not stored there.
Code is also stored there, na. You are able to see in the version, show version command, what is the code running there. So in next reload, code is going to be this one. For now, this is by default.
Okay. So each register can carry different code. If we have three different codes, we can run on the same router with three different codes, right?
No, your router will boot up with only one code.
Yeah, okay. But next time, if we, yeah, okay. If they want to practice something else to practice, so we can have load three. Okay, booting will be different. We can change that booting sequence.
Okay. So this router can either use this configuration revision number or this revision number at a time.
Okay.
Right now it is
Yeah,
using this one. In next reload it is going to use this one.
this one. So we can have two different, but in case sometimes if you want to have different, we can save two different configuration also, and we can ask that way, right?
Right. Guys, see, this is default configuration register value and I know this is best, but for 5 minutes I need to break some password, right? For that, just I want to use, let's say, this configuration register value, because behavior of this one is different, right? It is not going to check NVRAM content. So first what I will do, I will change the configuration register value from this to this, then I will remove the password, and after that again I will set it to the default, because default one is the best, right? It is checking every time NVRAM content.
After change the reservation, router
Do
will
one thing first, understand some more about the configuration revision register number, then we will come to this point again. See how many password I can configure on the router. Console password, I can configure one password on the console port, so that no one can access through console. Again I'm getting some noise. Someone is playing TV, I think. Oh, Sandeep. Sandeep, there is noise from your side. Please don't unmute yourself. You can ask question tomorrow, right? So I can configure password on console port. I can configure the enable password, right? So that whenever someone will move from user mode to privilege mode, it will ask for password. But that is not encrypted. So you have another password that is enable secret, and this password is encrypted. Don't worry about it. We will discuss. Then we can configure password on line V2I for remote access, like how you are accessing networking devices remotely through line V2I interface. So you can configure password on line V2I. Now to break this password, you have what configuration register value. So configuration register value is 16 bits value represented in hexadecimal stored in NVRAM. It tells the booting behavior of router. By default configuration register value is this one, and we have these three. Now it is talking about the memory. See guys, the booting behavior of 0x2102. First of all, router is going to copy IS, and then it is going to check what? NVRAM, right? It will store main IS image from here to here, and it is going to store startup configuration from here to here. That's it. Then it will boot up. But if your configuration revision number is this one, 0x2142, then it is not going to copy data from NVRAM, right? It will only copy IS from the flash, and then it will boot up. Fine. Now the third configuration revision number, 0x2100. This configuration revision number is used to store mini IS from the ROM. Let's say your flash has corrupted, right? So your router is not booting. So what you can do, you can configure this configuration revision number. Once you will configure this configuration revision number, router will store mini IS from the ROM, right? It is not going to store IS from the flash. It is going to store IS from the ROM only. So guys, this configuration revision number is for storing mini IS from the ROM to flash. This configuration revision number is for booting the router only with IS without copying NVRAM content, and this configuration revision number is to boot up the devices with IS as well as NVRAM content. Clear? If it is clear, then tell me just yes.
Is the register value the one you set or it automatic?
Brother, I told you the requirement, right? This is default. This is default 0x2102. This is 0x2142. In this configuration revision number, it is not going to copy NVRAM data. Now if you want that my router should not copy NVRAM data, then manually you have to change the configuration revision number to this, right? If you want that your router should only boot with mini IS, you have to change the configuration revision number this manually. Let's say your flash
With
memory is
mini
corrupt.
iOS, we can
Hmm.
our if the see if our configuration is there with the mini iOS, if we put the routers, will all the configuration run similarly how it was running with the flash?
All the configuration is already there now. After that you can run command so run into so start copy startup into run. You can manually
Mini
copy.
iOS is the same.
Router is not going to copy it automatically in this configuration revision
No,
value.
mini iOS and the flash, it's the same thing. Only thing we are running from the booting from the ROM. That's all.
Correct.
With the same image, flash and ROM.
Correct.
So it's a backup.
Backup.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
If the iOS and mini iOS is the same, why we call it mini iOS?
Bec-
Any change?
no, no, it is stored in RAM only. This is the reason. You can say backup iOS as well, no problem at all.
Okay.
This is my language. You can say backup iOS. The router will store mini iOS from ROM to RAM in two
So
cases.
So the size.
in this instance, you have to we have to after we call the iOS from the ROM, we have to manually load the configuration from the NVRAM to the RAM.
You have to manually change it.
Okay.
right? Now if you are thinking that I don't have access, let's say flash is not working fine, that's why router is not getting boot up, I don't have access of router, then how I'm going to change the configuration revision number? That this can be your question, brother. Okay, leave it. So router will store mini IS from ROM to RAM in two case. First case, guys, when flash will crash, and when you are going to change the configuration revision number to this manually, right? You will get access in Roman mode. See, the another option to configure register value is we have a separate mode, that is Roman mode. Guys, Roman mode is for, you can say, operating system. This is a separate mode for operating system, right? To work with operating system, to work with the behavior of devices or operating system, not devices, definitely operating system. To control those things, we have what, Roman mode. And to enter in Roman mode, what you need to do, first turn off your device, then turn it on. And while booting, when router is booting, at that time you need to press Control plus C. Control plus C, like you can see in packet tracer. I have access of this router, right?
Sir, in every router we need to press control